In the world of fantasy football for 2025, discovering players who are reliable and consistent can give you a significant edge, especially when you're selecting your team after the third round. The key is identifying those who are likely to produce solid, dependable points week after week. Every year, some talented athletes fall in the draft order, perhaps because they're older, seem predictable, had injury setbacks last season, or don't possess the explosive upside of top-tier picks. But remember, you can't always swing for the fences with every pick. Sometimes consistency wins the game. Below, I've highlighted 7 players who are generally available in the later rounds, around the 4th or 5th, and who are expected to secure a high baseline of points for your fantasy lineup. These players are chosen based on their average draft position, ADP, which I pulled from Fantasy Pros. Comprehensive rankings covering 12-team PPR leagues. This info is crucial because it helps you identify value, finding players who can outperform their draft cost. San Francisco 49ers. Quarterback, ADP, round 9, QB 11. Despite missing key offensive pieces like Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, and all-pro left tackle Trent Williams from major stretches last year, Brock Purdy still ranked as the 12th best quarterback in fantasy points per game. He started slowly, but heated up, averaging nearly 19 fantasy points per game from week 6 onward, except for the weeks he missed. In those games, he scored at least 17 points in 8 of 10 outings. His worst performances came during harsh weather conditions, once in a blizzard in Buffalo, and during a heavy rain at home, highlighting that weather can still impact production. Over the past 2 seasons, only Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts have posted more 20-plus point games than Purdy, yet Purdy's draft cost places him well below those high-profile quarterbacks. Landing him around the 9th round makes him a potentially golden backup or even a weekly starter. Detroit Lions, tight end, ADP, round 5, TE4. After ending his rookie year as the top tight end, Sam LaPorta faced some challenges in his sophomore season to replicate his initial success. However, a closer look reveals a sharp improvement in the second half of 2024. During the first 9 weeks, he averaged only 3.3 targets and about 8 points per game. But from week 10 onwards, his targets jumped to 7.1 per game, with his fantasy average climbing to nearly 14 points. His second-half stats closely matched his outstanding rookie season, and he's projected to catch between 7 and 10 touchdowns in 2025. The fact that his 17 career touchdowns are second all-time for a tight end in their first 2 NFL seasons underscores his scoring potential. Arizona Cardinals, running back, ADP round 4, RB19. James Conner has consistently been a reliable fantasy RB, with an average of 16 points per game over 4 seasons in Arizona, the 10th highest among his position since 2021 among players with at least 40 games. He always finishes among the top scoring backs, ending last season as the RB11 in total points. Despite concerns about his age, turned 30 in May, and injury history, his 4th-round price tag is reasonable, given that he is a dependable scorer as long as he's healthy. Detroit Lions, running back, ADP round 5, RB22. David Montgomery had to sit out the last 3 weeks of 2024 due to a knee injury, but before that, he was incredibly productive, ranking as the RB11 in scoring from weeks 1 to 14, with about 16.5 points per game. Known for scoring at least 12 touchdowns in consecutive seasons, Montgomery often shares the workload with Jahmyr Gibbs, yet he's been a top contender inside the 5-yard line. His high volume of carries in those crucial scoring areas suggests he could reach double-digit touchdowns again in 2025. Considering he finished as a top 20 running back for most of last season, the 6th-round cost offers great value. Tennessee Titans, running back, ADP rounds 6 to 7, RB28. Tony Pollard had an underrated season considering he played on a struggling offense and scored only 5 touchdowns, yet finished as the overall RB21. He's reliable and productive, with at least 10 carries in most games and averaging nearly 100 yards from scrimmage, with 14.8 points per game. Despite the Titans' low rushing attempts inside the opponent's 10-yard line, Pollard was their go-to guy in those situations, with 14 carries. The team's plan to lighten his load in 2025, aiming for better health and endurance, could actually boost his overall yardage and scoring potential, especially with new rookie QB Cam Ward and improved offensive pieces supporting the attack. His draft position in round 6 or 7 is a steal given his past performances. New England Patriots wide receiver, ADP round 8 WR40. At 31 and sometime removed from his prime, Stefon Diggs isn't the absolute WR1 he once was, but he remains a consistent contributor. His 2023 season with the Bills saw him finish as the WR9 overall, and he maintained respectable form with an average of 18 points per game in 2024 with Houston, ranking above rookie favorites like McConkey, Smith-Njigba, and Wilson, all of whom are being picked higher. The Patriots are bringing him into the fold at a surprisingly late round, making him a potential steal for steady points. Las Vegas Raiders, wide receiver, ADP round 8 WR41. Hunter Renfrow is another intriguing value, having finished last season at WR23 overall and averaging nearly 9 targets per game, 11th highest among receivers. With quarterbacks Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell now throwing to him, Renfrow's target volume could increase, boosting his fantasy floor. He's already shown he can rack up good yards and scores when targeted frequently. And with a team rebuilding its offense, he might be positioned for a breakout if he stays healthy. These players are just some of the hidden gems in the middle to late rounds who could provide dependable, high-floor production and help you dominate your fantasy league. Spotting these opportunities before others do often separates contenders from pretenders. So who are you targeting as a safe bet? Or do you believe some of these predictions are overly optimistic? Drop your thoughts and debate in the comments, because in fantasy football, sometimes the smartest move is just knowing where to look first.